This
will do
or
more damage than
okay.
together as one, we will kick out coronavirus. This message is from Stanbic IBTC. Business trends beyond the headlines. Business Express on Smooth 98.1 in association with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
Good morning. We're live. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. My name is Valentine Ohu. And here is Smooth Breakfast, but of course, Business Express 981 with Rotus. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Val. Good morning to all our listeners. Great to be here.
Can I just tell you how excited I am to be here?
Hey, technology gives us options. So yeah, exactly. So it's good to be here. Good to be here.
So glad to welcome my sister, I would say, Sheyi Egbarin. She's the head of institutional trust and loan agency, Stanbic IBTC. Rotus will let you in on the joke. No,
Okay.
it's actually not a joke.
Yeah, you're somehow related.
We are related.
How about that? Small world. Even with 200 million population, we're still you can still exactly.
All right, Rotus.
Thank you, Valentine. Thank you, Rotus.
Welcome,
Good to
Shay.
be here.
Fantastic. So yeah, Shay, take us through. I guess we're going to talk about trusts,
Yes.
right? And I know Stanbic is a big player in that space. Can we talk about, I guess, as far as from an individual and corporate standpoint, what a trust is and how you go about setting it up? We want to start from there.
Okay, thank you very much, Rotus. Trust in the basic terms is protection. If you want to protect your assets, you want to protect the settler. The settler is the person setting up the trust, and you also want to protect the beneficiaries who would like benefits from the trust. So, and in every trust, there's always a settler. Like I said earlier, the person putting up or setting up this trust, there's an asset to be protected. It might be documents, might be a car, a property, whatever it is, or funds, cash. And then there's always a beneficiary. So the beneficiary is the person that's going to benefit from the trust. The beneficiary can even be the settler, person setting up the trust. So in its simplest term, trust is
Sounds like
protection.
I always think of. Whenever I think of trust, I think of rich people. When rich people or somebody that wins if you win a lottery, you can set up a trust to protect the money or something,
children,
right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that good question and good concept. So that brings me to types of trust we have.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have trust that we would do for individuals, private personal trust, and we have trust for the corporates. So for the individuals, yes, rich people, like Rosis mentioned, HNIs, we have trust for the normal people. And under our estate planning team, we deal wills. Wills can be simple wills or comprehensive wills. Simple wills just taking care of your retirement savings account, the benefits there, and the benefits in your bank account. And then we do that for every individual. And then we have the comprehensive will. Now you're going further, considering the cash at bank, your assets, even if it's gold you want to give to your children, you document everything in a will such that in the event of death, these things are passed on to the beneficiaries that you have stated that they should be given to. Then you have the private trust for the HNIs.
Okay.
You want to bring in a lot of your assets all over the world, different jurisdictions, into a trust and protect it such that it also benefits you, the settler, and your beneficiaries. Then we have something like education trust for children. And it's just like setting out funds to plan ahead for the education of your children and what or other people that you might deem, oh, I want to help out with this education and things like that. And then in the corporate side, we have different types of trust products. It can be security trustee when you're protecting assets on behalf of lenders who have given out funds to a borrower. Then we act as bond trustees in the event that organizations or institutions are trying to raise funds, but they are going to collect money from the public. So you need a trustee to protect them and sort of give them confidence that this investment you want to put your money in is going to be fine. And so we also go a step further to check that, okay, even if I'm bringing in money, I'm investing, the issuer, who is the person sourcing for funds or looking for funds, are they going to pay me my returns as I went due?
Yeah.
Am I going to get coupon payments? It's also the same thing for mutual funds or collective investment schemes. You want to buy into a mutual fund, there's always a trustee in between to just give some sort of reliance and comfort to the people that are actually investing in this mutual fund. So the trustees mostly come in as middlemen. And trust is that protection to say that I want to do something. Who is going to have my back? Who's going to make sure that I will not get my fingers burnt and all those kind of things? So that's basically what we do. Also, under corporate trust, we offer some like escrow services.
Okay.
We act as agents for people that maybe want to go into a buying and selling transaction or a joint venture transaction. So we come in as middlemen to say, oh, okay, you don't know each other from anywhere, but we want to do this business. We'll come in to hold the funds, custodians of the funds, or documents and everything, just to bridge the gap of saying that, okay, don't worry, we are there as middlemen to ensure that everything will go along as documented in the agreement or trusted. And that's some of the things
That's
that we do.
solid protection there.
It is.
Yes, protection.
Quick reminder here that you can send messages to be part of the conversation. Send messages to
Oh.
WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. Our guest is Sheyi Ebaring, Head of Institutional Trust and Loan Agency, Stanbic IBTC.
Great stuff. I'm also thinking of all these kids of wealthy parents that start fighting for assets when one of them passes. Yeah, trusts are very important there. But to keep it on the corporate side, what do you need to know as a business to set up a trust with Stanbic?
Yes. So what you need to know is that as trustees, Stanbic IBTC trustees, we act as either agents or trustees on a transaction. Like I mentioned earlier, if it's a bond transaction, you need a trustee to provide protection to the investors. But if the security trustee, for example, security trustee is an arrangement whereby you have lenders giving facility or loan to a borrower.
Yeah.
And then at times the borrower might be like, oh, I don't want to stay with lender A. I want to stay with lender B because lender B has been able to offer me the same amount but at a reduced amount.
Yeah.
So why don't I just spend time and or just give my collect the loan from this lender B? But it's always like it's better when there's an objective and an independent person that is there to protect the interest of so many lenders that the borrowers must have gone to say, give me
Right.
money, give me money, give me money.
Right.
And then the collateral will not be in the hands of just one lender.
Okay.
So you can imagine you have a very juicy property on the island next
Hey.
to FM, and
Yeah.
then you've gone to borrow money, and then the property is worth 1 billion naira.
Yeah.
And you've just gone to the bank to collect 200 million. So you still have some allowance for 800 million.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead of one lender just sitting on that property and saying that, don't worry, you can come and be taking more money, but at this price or at this cost, you can go to lender B and say, oh, I'll reduce it. Okay, so what we do is that we'll hold such assets on behalf of all the lenders and
Okay.
say that, okay, you've gone to borrow how much? You took 100 million from this person, you took another 200, you took another 300. Maybe that's the total of 600. And they will say, okay, as security trustees, let us note the interest of these different lenders so that they know that there's someone they can run to.
Yeah.
In
Right.
the event of them being that, how am I protected? Am I exposed? In the event of a default or the borrower not being able to pay, what happens? So we are there to actually mitigate some risk,
Yeah.
or provide more protection to the lenders and to assure them that, look, this borrower that's taking money from you, his collateral sits with us, and we will ensure that it is managed such that as he continues to pay, at the end of the day, you are fine.
Fine,
And then
protected.
the borrower too is also fine. His asset is not just taken away by any lender, or he's not well treated.
Great stuff. So it's all about protection. That's the first thing you said, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And peace of
Basically,
mind.
protection.
So as far as, and I guess which sectors do you see participating in this most? Is it spread across? Is it mostly in bank finance? Is it mostly in real estate? Is it mostly in manufacturing? Okay, no, I shouldn't be getting into all that, but I'm just curious. So
You're
just,
spot on. Sectors, yes, we see a lot of banks. Banks most times are the lenders finish, but we see oil and gas sectors. We see them because they borrow huge,
yes.
and we borrow very big.
Yeah.
Servicing, they're all mining facilities and all those things. And then we also have some manufacturing conglomerates
Yeah.
also who come in and say that yes, they've gone to so and so lenders and they want their assets protected. And most times the assets in question can be bank accounts, can be properties, can even be the company assets down to vehicles. So
Yeah.
when we get the valuation reports of all the assets in the company, you want to see that this company
Right. It's
standing well
right.
and has good net asset value or net worth in terms of whatever assets they have.
In fact, Shell made the news yesterday because they're trying the local unit of Royal Dutch Shell is trying to sell off. I think it's onshore and shallow water assets, and one of the banks, the MD of one of the banks was talking about, I think it's about worth 2.3 billion. How would they be able to sell that off? Which banks would come together to make sure that works? So those kind of things are where this works out. What's the trend? Are you folks? Is it during the beginning of the year where you see most of these businesses come to meet you to get this done, or is it in the middle of the year or towards the end, or is it spread out?
Good question. So we see all around through the year. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can be the beginning, whatever. Because our services are such that they are like aids to trade.
Okay.
It's not something you wake up every morning and say, oh yes, I'm going to go and just get a loan. But yes, a lot of corporates have to get finance from financial institutions. So as banks make these opportunities available to them or offer them the facilities, yes, we now come into business to say that we are here to help you protect assets, lenders. As you have given out, you shouldn't get your fingers burnt. And also the borrower that has taken knows that they have the responsibilities to ensure that we've collected something from, and then we have to make sure that there's a collateral, and then we pay back the facilities. So as it's not really seasonal.
Gotcha.
How about rates?
Rates.
Yeah, so but you get a fee for all this,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, of course. It's not for free.
So the reason why that word, just that word came to me, because when you borrow, there's a rate from the borrower.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're right, Valentine. There's a rate from, but because we're offering purely administrative services as security trustees, we do a lot of documentations. We check that the security is in place. You don't want someone to go and tell you that I'm going to give you a house at maybe Aja, and then the house is not insured.
Yeah.
It's not the network is not really good, and all those kind of things. So you also check that the security is actually fine, and we earn a fee for a lot of the administrative work we do. Our fees are based on transaction dynamics, and
Makes
also on maybe sectors, if you want to bring it and understanding whatever the transaction entails.
So if one was to use this to measure, I don't know, growth in wealth, have you seen over the years? I'm not sure how long you've been doing this, but have you seen these? Have you been getting more transactions? I know we had two recessions. The economy has been a little tight, but are you seeing any type of growth? Are you seeing more, one sector increasing in its requests to Stanbic?
Yeah. Growth, and just to mention that Stanbic IBTC Trustees has been in existence for almost 11 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously growth is meant to be progressive.
Right.
We've seen a lot of growth, but we continue to
anticipate
for
more growth.
Yeah.
Exactly. I figured.
That's beautiful. I mean,
I
the fact that
figured
you guys have been in business longer than some of our listeners. That's amazing. It's 6:43. You remember, you can actually send your messages to WhatsApp 0809 444 0981.
What about the impact of COVID? Did that over the past year for 2020? Did you see any impact in terms of I guess where folks that have trust with you, was anyone worried? Come on, is COVID going to affect this business or this lender?
a shout out to our clients.
Yeah.
No worries like that.
Okay.
Yes, and shout out to the organization, because we're actually able to put structures in place, backup arrangements to ensure that we continue to deliver services as expected. And our clients, I must say, also were actually helpful and accommodating. They knew that every business had its own share from the pandemic, and we're able to manage whatever the client's expectations were.
What about states? Does most of the action come from Lagos, or are you seeing stuff from other states? I always, Lagos cannibalizes all business. Yeah, but how are you?
It's just going to be bad. Like Lagos is it. So Lagos, yes, we have a chunk of our transactions in Lagos, but we're also able to deal with people outside Lagos. We get such opportunities
outside there, yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you asked that question, I was just thinking, who do you pay VAT to?
Hey, look. Anyway, that one is the FIRS finally got an injunction, so that case is gonna go all the way. So it's gonna really see how it works out there.
Shay Barry, you've been fantastic.
Yeah, very informative conversation.
You deserve a round of applause.
Yeah.
This is the first time on radio. Ever.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff, James.
Great
Stuff.
Thank you.
Val, thanks so much, man. Really great. So tomorrow, Tech
pleasure.
Friday tomorrow. Interesting conversation we'll be having on tech, but appreciate it. Good to be back in the studio. But since it's tech, we'll be back on Zoom tomorrow.
I was just waiting with bated breath. Well, our fantastic guest has been Shay Barry, Head of Institutional Trust and Loan Agency, Stanbic IBTC. Stick around. Valentine will still be here for Freshly Pressed 91s coming up in a few minutes, actually. That about 45 minutes would join the analysts, two analysts joining us for detailed analysis of our newspaper stories.
Trends beyond the
Thank you so
headlines.
much.
This was your first time already. Are you serious? Your
Yeah.
first time?
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
That was great stuff.
And nice to see you.
Hey, look, same here, same here, same here. Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank
So how you guys related?
So he's from, my husband's from Delta.
Are you serious?
Yes.